同学们好. Great to see you guys. It's the 20th of September. Last week, you reviewed essentially the first section through all the brush knees. So this week, let's work on parry, block, and punch, parent closing up, and cross hands, and we'll see how that goes. But because there's one or two new things there, and we'll focus on the new things. But to just get our minds calm, let's just begin with a few minutes of standing practice. So feet shoulder width apart and circle the arms, bend the knees. And standing practice has really three functions. First is to train our posture, the second is to train our breathing, and the third is to calm the mind. So let us begin with posture. So do the 4 checks. Feel your head lifting up, so the front of your head vertical, crown of your head lifting up. Number 2, feel your shoulders dropping, your elbows sinking. Now feel your chest absorbed and your back slightly rounded, and we do that by extending the elbows away from the shoulders or shoulders away from the spine. And now drop your hips straight down. That'll allow us to relax the waist, which is the lower back. And we can go round and round with these. So today let's just do the pairs. We'll do 2 of them. Try and think of 2 at the same time. So as your head rises up, feel your shoulders sinking down. So feel the relationship between shoulders sinking, elbows dropping, and your head lifting light and energetic. I know Nancy Lauscher last week spoke quite a lot about keeping the shoulders down. And one of the ways we can do that, strangely, is not by just thinking about the shoulders, but by thinking about lifting your head up. And if your head lifts up, your shoulders tend to sink down. Now let's absorb the chest. So feel your elbows pulling out towards the corners. So feel that rounded shape, and as your chest absorbs, your back opens left, right. Now drop your hips so that your spine opens up, down. So you feel the relationship between the left, right, and the up, down. Check your weight distribution. Make sure that you have your weight even between the balls of your feet and the heels, and that your crotch is rounded so the weight is even on the inside and the outside. And feel the expansion. What I'd like you to feel is the sense of openness, bigness, roundness, arms round. So feel your arms in and now expand them out. Breathe in, deep breath. Breathe out, deep breath. And when we practice the first section, which we'll do in a couple of minutes, I want you to see if you can get the same feeling of expansion. Yang style is large, rounded, circular. So drop the arms, straighten the legs. Let's just do bow stance for a couple of moments. So start with one foot, the back foot to the corner. Step out into your bow stance. Front foot to straight. Bend slightly at your torso so that your torso and your back leg are in a line. And now round the arms, and let's just do a minute here. So the same thing. Feel your head up, shoulders down. Absorb the chest, arms out, elbows out, extending away from the back. drop your hips straight down, relax the waist, and check your footwork. Check that you have both your feet nice and flat on the ground, particularly your back foot. Check that your back heel isn't floating up. And with your head lifting, breathe through the nose. If you can, just breathing in, feel your belly expand. Breathing out, shoulders sinking. Relax the waist, absorb the chest. So let's change to the other side. Shift your weight back. Change your footwork so the other foot becomes the back foot to the corner. Step out into a bow stance, front foot to straight. And torso inclined, same angle as the back leg. Make sure your tailbone is centered on the line between your heels, forward, back. And feel the weight on your feet, 60% on the front, 40% on the back. Feel the tension, the push and support, front to back to front. Head up, shoulders sinking, elbows dropping. Absorb the chest. Feel the elbows opening away from your spine. And now relax the waist so that you're breathing. When you breathe in, your belly just opens naturally. You breathe out as well. And we'll finish there. Drop the hands, bring the back foot forward, circle it up, press down, and we'll finish here. Dita, good to see you. Welcome. You've braved the outdoors. It's cold out there. So let's do the first section together. I'll face in the same direction as you would be if you're facing the camera. We'll just do the first section. I'll call just the movements. If there are any questions, let's talk about questions, and then we'll start doing some new review. So we're going to start. Feet shoulder width apart, legs straight but not locked, arms by the side of your legs. And in fact, this is also a standing practice. Our legs aren't bent, our arms aren't rounded, but here we can do the same thing. So head up, shoulders sinking down, chest absorbed. Relax the waist. Make sure that your lower back doesn't feel cramped. So let's begin. First section. Opening. Grass bird's tail. Ward off left. Ward off right. Roll back. Press. Push. Single whip. Transition. Single whip. Raise hands. Step forward. White crane spreads its wings. Left brush knee. So feel the nice big open. As you brush, nice big forward circle and then push with the right hand. Handstrom loop. Left brush knee. Right brush knee. left brush knee. Hand strums lute. Left brush knee. Step forward, parry, block and punch. Apparent closing up. Cross hands. Closing. Back to original position. Stop. Okay, so slightly warmer than we were when we started. Are there any questions about the up to before parry, block and punch? Grassbird's tail, brush knees, single whip, hand strum lute, those things. Any questions? Yes, Lorraine. You're muted. There you go.
On hand strum to lute, can you show the footwork for when you're finished?
Yep. So hand strum lute footwork. So I'll show it in a couple of different directions, but so we start in a bow stance. We come forward, bring the back foot in so that it's center line to sides. Sometimes you might want to bring the back foot in a little, but don't bring it in a lot. So it comes in, and then when we come back, we're pushing off with the ball of the left foot, and then we root with the heel and lift. So let me do it in this direction. So I'm starting in a left bow stance. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the back foot in. So you can see there's now my feet are on either side of the center line. I'm going to push off with the ball of the front foot, change to the heel and root. So you can see my feet are either side of the center line, back foot is to the corner, front foot is straight, full heel pressure with the front left foot. Does that make sense, Lorraine?
I didn't do it on the ball of foot. I missed that one. On the ball of foot.
Okay. Yeah, so you finish. Yeah, your audio it breaks up a little bit, so I'm not sure I'm hearing you. But yeah, you finish on the ball of the left foot. And just to be clear, one of the since you all know the form, I'll try and make connections and do comparisons across the form. So when we do needle at C bottom, it's the other footwork. So for needle at C bottom, we start again in left brush knee, the back foot comes in. Now we're going to push off with the heel for hand strum lute, for needle at C bottom, change to the ball and come down. And so the rule that we use everywhere is we always go heel, ball, ball, heel. So with hand strum the lute, because you're going to finish on the heel, you push off with the ball and change to the heel. With needle at C bottom, because you're going to finish on the ball, you push off with the heel, change to the ball and sink. Got it? Good. Any other questions? Maria.
You mentioned keeping the shoulders down, and I have difficulty remembering that. I know it's so important, and I always forget. I don't know, is there anything that I can do to just make myself do it properly? No?
I
Just
wish. If you find out what it is, let me know. uh, actually, that's actually something I'm working on myself at the moment. And so the way I'm trying to practice it is when I do the form, let's say in the morning,
uh,
I'll say, okay, today I'm just working on shoulders down. And then through the whole form, I just constantly check in and remind myself, are my shoulders down? Are my shoulders down? Are my shoulders down? The whole way for the whole 20, 25 minutes that it takes to do the form, I just think about my shoulders. I don't worry too much about anything else. So that's one thing you could try.
I know, because I know that in playing the cello, my instructor always says, don't use your shoulder. You need to use your arms and your elbows and the shoulder, not raise it up, but it's
Yeah,
an instinct. But
it
thank
is an instinct. The other thing that you could try is what I mentioned when we were doing standing practice is so some days I actually, when I practice, I think about shoulders down. Other days I think about head up. And in fact, they do the same thing. So let's take a simple example. So if you do, let's say, twin fists here. Oh, well, actually, let's just do push. So, let's just do a push. If you feel your head lifting up, your shoulders will naturally drop. And so what I do is, I will take a practice of the form and just constantly check, am I pushing up with my head? Am I pushing up with my head? Just keep going back to that, because if I'm pushing up with my head, my shoulders will drop. So those are, getting at the problem from two directions.
thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Good. So just to lock in and review some of the things that Nancy Lauscher was doing last week, let's just practice the first half of the first section to before parry, block, and punch. So let's practice that together, and I will actually provide some cues and just, listen to the cues or check for yourself what's going on. Let's just review some of the details. So let's just start again. We're at the beginning, feet shoulder width apart. We're in prepare. Opening, so arms rotate and lift, keeping the shoulders down, lift the arms up, palms horizontal. Now pressing down, start with the upper arms, keep the palms horizontal, then the forearms, then the palms pressing down in front of the hips. Grassbird's tail, so shift weight slightly to the left with body turning, open the right toe, arms separate slightly. Now keeping your shoulders down, with body turning, rotate the right arm up, left arm closes in, heel touch, ward off left. Your left arm is straight and horizontal to the side, chest open, torso vertical. Ward off right, shift your weight slightly to the right, turn your left toe to the corner. Now grab and pull with the left hand as your right fingertips drop. Close the arms as you step in and out. Ward off right. Check, shoulders down, your left fingertips higher than the elbow. Your right upper arm in line with the right thigh. Rollbacks. Rotate both arms immediately as you start turning your waist to the corner. Now sitting back as you turn your waist to the left side corner. Arms don't change. Press, rotate the right arm and the left. Close the right arm in front of the left. Left palm on the right forearm at about 45 degrees. Pushing forwards. Shoulders down. Check that your right palm is higher than your elbows. Push, flatten the palms, square your chest. Now sitting back, pushing with the front leg, palms stay down until they're in front of your shoulders, sink down. Now push up and out, forward. You're in a bow stance. Check that your chest is square to the side, palms sitting vertically, shoulders down. Single whip, sit your weight back, flatten the palms. Now pushing with the right heel, start pulling to the left, left elbow bends, palms in parallel. Arms go to the left side. The left arm is straight when it gets to the left. Now it comes back. Release your hips, hips pointing to the corner. Make a hook. As you step to the left with the left leg, your left arm goes to ward off. Foot flattens, it deflects to the front, and strike out. Check that your torso is vertical. Your hips are open more than corner, looking over the tiger's mouth. Raise hands, shift weight slightly to the right to release the left foot. Turn the left foot to the corner. Shift back weight, palms go back. Root with the right heel. With body turning, palms close. Your fingertips are either side of the center line through your nose. The left tiger's mouth to the right forearm center, right fingertips about eye height. Wide crane. With body turning, rotate both arms so the palms are facing each other. Now pull down, you're looking to the side. Close the arms, change footwork, you're looking to the front. Now one arm up, one arm down, ball touch, empty stance, center line, two sides. Left brush knee, rotate both arms, right palm to the back, left palm sitting vertically. Now right arm down, left arm up, and then right arm up, left arm down, step out, brush, big circle to the front, and then with the left arm, and then strike with the right. Check that your shoulders are down, chest square. Handstrom loop, shift weight forward, bring the back foot to center line. Now pushing with the ball of the left foot, body turns, pull back, change to a heel, left, and lift. Left brush knee, rotate the right arm, left arm goes to the side, close the arms, look to the back corner, heel touch, big brush as the right arm comes to the shoulder, and push forward. Check that you've got a good bow stance, your back heel isn't lifting, your chest is square, your torso is in line with the back leg. Left brush knee, shift weight back slightly, lift the left arm halfway up. With body turning, rotate the left arm and the left foot. Brush to the left. Look to the back left corner. Brush and push. Right brush knee, shift weight back. Right arm halfway. With body turning, rotate the right arm, right toe to the corner. Arms circle up and down to the back corner. Look to the back corner. Root. Brush as the palm goes in front of the shoulder, and then strike out. Handstrom loop again, yield forward, back foot to center line, pushing off with the ball of your foot, pull back, change to a heel, left arm lifts, right arm down. Check your shoulders, your head is lifting up. Left brush knee, close and step to the back corner, step out, brush and push. And just stay in that posture for a second. Let's just check our stance. Left hand is by the left knee, palm is flat parallel to the ground. Right arm is pushing out, right palm is vertical, right arm slightly bent, but more or less straight. Head is up, torso tilted, chest is square. And stop. All right, good. And that's from what I saw there, that looks really good. Any questions about that? Okay, so now we're going to do parry, block, and punch, apparent closing up, cross hands. We'll see how far we get. So let's just do those three movements. I'll give some cues just to refresh our memories about what those things are, and I'll go in the same way as you would be going. So we're going to start in a left bow stance. So we've done a left brush knee. We're going to do parry, block, and punch. Shift weight back slightly, lift the left arm. Turn the left toe out. That's just like brush knee, but now both arms are going to circle down. Step center line to sides. Second parry to the front. Step through, root and block, and punch. Apparent closing up, yielding forward with body turning. The left arm goes to the left. Now shuttles under the right arm, sitting back, right arm over left forearm center. Rotate both arms so that your palms are sitting in front of your chest, pushing with the back leg, pushing out. You're in push. cross hands, starting to push with the left leg, rotate the body, both arms rotate. Deflect to the front right corner, changing the left foot to square. Rotate the arms, both arms drop. Right foot parallel to the left, lifting the arms up. And you're in a double cross hands. Double ward off, also known as cross hands. Okay, good. So actually something I just noticed, we'll probably come back to it, but since I just saw it, when we do cross hands, the crossing point is the center of the forearm. So make sure that you're not crossing at the wrists. You're crossing at the forearms, and you've got this nice round, as round a shape as you can. So it's not here, it's nice and round and open. It's also, as I said, called double ward off, because this is a ward off and this is a ward off, and then we've got two. Okay. So let's start working on parry, block, and punch. And with parry, block, and punch, we've actually got a new method. So we've got various methods, and this is a method that we do for moving. So let's just think about it. You know, we've already done in the form how we go from a bow stance in this direction, turn to a bow stance 90 degrees. And we've got another one where we actually turn the body direction through 180 degrees. We've done with the brush knees how we move from one bow stance to the next. And what you know from parry, block, and punch is parry, block, and punch actually has a transition step. So we go from a left bow stance, transition step to a left bow stance. So let's just review that. And I'm going to face away from you so that you can see my legs. So we're in a left bow stance here. So if I want to take 2 steps, what do? I shift back, open my left foot. I bring the back foot through, I put it center line to side, the front toe is going to the corner, I step through, and now I'm back in a left bow stance. And this is the general rule: whenever we take more than one step, the intermediate step, we step on the other side of a line between the heels. And the reason for that is that, so for example, if I were to step here, I'd be waddling backwards and forwards. I wouldn't be following the straightest line to my opponent. If I did this and I crossed my footwork, I would be too narrow and my balance wouldn't be very good. So the Goldilocks is to step center line 2 sides. In order to practice that, we'll do the bow stance, but I want to let's just practice together going from this diagonal step one after another. Mike and Nancy call it Taiji walking. So what I'd like us to do is to start, I'll do it in this direction first, you can do it whichever works for you. Start in an empty stance, heel touch. Pick up, just rotate the front foot out 45 degrees. Step through, put the other foot down, center line 2 sides, out to 45 degrees. Shift forward, step through, 45 degrees. Let me do it with my back to you. And when I say center line 2 sides, you may well see that I don't manage to do that myself. Do what I say, don't do what I do. But anyway, so here we go. So I'm in an empty stance, heel touch with my left leg. Open my front foot. Now I'm going to shift my weight forward in the direction of my front foot, keeping my left knee and my left foot in a line. Bring my weight in, bring the right foot through. Now put it down, center line 2 sides, with the right toe to the right side corner. Shift my weight in the direction of the right foot. Bring the left foot through, step through. And so there's a couple of things here that I want to just emphasize. And one, it's actually, if you have trouble with balance, this is a really nice exercise, I find. One of the things that we have to be sure that we do is when we put the front foot down, make sure your crotch is rounded. Make sure that you don't have your knees collapsed in. So you need to have your crotch rounded when this foot comes down. The second thing, when you move your weight, don't move the weight in the forward direction. Move your weight in the diagonal direction so that you're moving your weight onto the center of that load-bearing foot. Then put down the other foot. Now move your weight onto that foot. If what you'll find, and it's easiest to see if you do it quickly, if you put this foot down and just go straight forward, you're going to fall over because you don't, you know, if your weight is going this way, there's no support there. You're just going to fall over. So that's why we move the weight in the direction of the foot. Let's just do that one more time just to fix it. So let's say I'll start on the other side. Start in a empty stance right foot, open the right foot to the corner, shift weight forward, keep the crotch rounded in the direction of the right foot. Step through, center line to sides, put down the heel. Shift weight to the left side. Step through to the right. And depending on how much space you have, you can keep going. What we'll also do, but just to connect to the second section, this is going forwards. When we do repulse monkey, it's the same kind of principle, but it's going backwards. So if you think about when you do repulse monkey, you're starting here, you're stepping back, center line to side, stepping back, center line to sides. So we can go forward and back. Here we're going forward. So now let's apply that to parry, block, and punch. Left bow stance, shift weight back, open the left toe, move your weight back onto your left foot, step through, center line to sides, right foot to the corner. Now we're just going to finish in the left bow stance. So there we are. We went from a left bow stance to a left bow stance. We can also do it on the right. We don't do it in the form here, but we can practice it. So we start with a right bow stance, shift weight back slightly, open the right toe to the corner, shift your weight in the direction of the right toes. Step through, center line to side. Now move your weight, move your left toe in the direction, your left knee in the direction of your left toe. Step through into a right bow stance. So that's how we move. And it's always, I find, useful to just practice these fundamentals. Are there any questions about that? Nope. Good. Good. So now let's start adding the body movement. So we've done, so let's talk about parry, block, and punch from a left bow stance. We're going to start parry, block, and punch the same way we start brush knee. So we're in a left bow stance, shift weight back, this is a better direction. Shift weight back slightly, lift the left arm to it's about halfway. With body turning, rotate the left arm and open the left foot. Your hands are either side of the center line, you're looking to the front. So let's do it again, and I'll face in this direction, just to review. So this is how we begin parry, block, and punch and brush knee. Shift weight back slightly, lift the left arm to about 45 degrees. With body turning, rotate the left arm, left toe to the corner. Your palms are either side of the line through your nose here. Now with parry, block, and punch, both arms are going to circle down. And I'm going to step through center line to sides. When I'm in this position here, my right arm is rounded, nice and big circle here, and my left arm is to the back corner. So let's do that again together, and I'll do it on this side. So 1, shift back weight, lift the left arm, with body turning, rotate the left arm, open the left toe. 2, both arms circle down, step through, root with the right foot, both arms to the corner. That's 2. Now 3, shift weight forward, parry with the right hand. Your weight is, almost all your weight is on the right foot. You can see my left toe is barely touching. My left palm is opposite my right forearm. That's 3. So let's do 1, 2, and 3. So 1, shift back weight, lift the left arm with body turning, rotate the left arm, open the left foot. 2, circle both arms down, heel touch, center line to sides, right arm nice and rounded, left palm sitting. 3, second parry to the front, almost all your weight on the right foot. Now 4, with body turning to the right, step through into a bow stance, left arm goes forward, right palm comes to the hips, and 5, pushing with the back leg, punch. Let's do it from this direction. So we're in left brush knee, shift back weight, lift the arm, open the toe. That's 1, you're still looking to the front. 2, circle the arm down, step center line to sides, both arms to the back, look to the back corner. 3, shift weight onto the right foot, second parry with the right arm, left palm over across from the left forearm, palms either side of center line. 4, with body opening to the right, step through, right fist to the hips. Then 5, press forward. So the parry, block, and punch, when we think about the arms, so I just want you just to review, and I'll have a look and see how it's going in a moment, but I think most of you are pretty much there. So we're going to go parry down, parry down. So it's like a figure 8, parry, 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 parry. A couple of things I want you to pay attention to is when the first parry is down, your palm is more or less flat to the ground. So I don't want you to come down like this. It's down like this. The arm is rounded. And then the second one, here it's diagonal. Then it's going to come to your hips. So we're going to pull it down to the hips. So Lorraine, a little bit lower so that your fist, if you can, is like at your hip joint, sort of here. Yep. And then from here, you can see, I think we've all got palm up. We're going to punch, and the arm is going to rotate so that it's vertical at the end. So it goes from this shape, palm up, to vertical here. The left arm is very much like just a brush knee. So when you think about a brush knee, it goes out to the side, comes in, and pushes out. It's pretty much the same shape. The coordination point is when you've done your second parry, the left arm is in this position here. Your body's actually open, and you're going to from here block out, and then you're going to punch. How does that sound? How does that make sense? Good. So let me watch you do that and see if there's anything we should talk about. So on your own time, just do parry, block, and punch a few times. So just a couple of things that I noticed for some of us, not all of us, that I just want to remind you of. So the first thing that I mentioned is when we do, so we're in left brush knee, here, the right arm is going to come down to here. So not down this way, sort of it almost flattens out. Then the next thing I want us to pay attention to is the coordination. So some of us are actually moving our weight forward too soon. So when we're here, I'll go this direction, I think. So this is 1. This is 2. When you're in 2, you've rooted with the right foot, but most of your weight is still on the left. 3 is when you go forward. So this is 3. And 4 is when you step through with the left leg. So let's just do that 1, 2, 3, 4 together a couple of times. So 1 is open the left toe. 2, move all your weight onto the left foot, circle the arms, root with the right arms to the back, look to the back. 3, shift your weight onto the right foot, second parry to the front, left palm across from the right forearm. 4, all your weight's on the right foot, step through, block, and punch. Okay. When we were doing our standing practice, one of the things that we do is chest absorbed, back slightly rounded. So we all know this. We want to be like this, not like this, so that actually our elbows, our shoulders, and our spine are nice and aligned. The easiest place to lose track of that is in this kind of movement. When we pull back here, it's really easy for us to pull our elbows back like this, and you can see my shoulder is really open here. So when you pull down, make sure you keep your chest sinking. Yes, Lorraine, like that. Yep. So don't have, and so the general rule is, in general, we don't want our elbow past the side. Now here, you know, the elbow is going to go a little past the side, but make sure that it's not here, that it's here, so that you can keep this sinking in your chest. Then the last one, just one or two of us, is just the finishing position of the hands. So let's just review that. So I've punched out with my right hand. My left palm is sitting, it's vertical. It's about fist width from my forearm, and it's sitting vertically. Yes, like that, Dita. Very nice. And Lorraine, I think maybe a little further, a bit more space between your left palm and your right forearm. Yeah. And if you can, if your shoulder allows, to lift the shoulder up a bit so that this fist is shoulder height, that would be good too. Okay. One more thing that I want to mention is one of the essential principles is practice continuously without interruption. One of Yang Chengfu's 10 essentials. And what needs to be continuous without interruption is the energy, which really means we put circles in. And actually the circles are in the waist, even though you might see them in the hands. So when we do, let's say we've started here, circle, parry, block, I'm going to pull back to here. So you can see I've opened my chest to the right. When I'm going to punch, my chest is going to come back to the left, right? I come to here, both arms open, then I'm going to punch. Try and find a little circle here, so you don't just open and come straight back. There's a little circle, you'll see it in the hand here as it comes forward, so that as your chest goes from side to side, it's moving continuously. Does that make sense? Okay, let me see if I can get Susan. I just want to show you the application for this. And here she is. Okay, so let's do this way around. So Susan, if Susan comes forward, yeah, we can come a little bit closer here. So if Susan punches here with the right, the first parry is a parry down. So I'm going to parry down with this arm. So this first movement is a parry down. If she comes with her other hand, I'm going to parry to the other side and move my right arm up here. I'm going to step through, and then I can punch. So you can see that the first parry is for the one arm, the second parry is for the second arm. The block keeps an arm behind you, keeps her arm out of the way so that I can then punch. Let's do it from the other side. Okay, so she's going to come in. I'm going to parry down. She's going to punch here. I'm going to block. So you can see that this hand, try and punch. She can't punch with this hand because I'm blocking. So this is that left arm block. And then there's a punch with this arm. The other thing I just wanted to mention, you might wonder, when we show this final position, what is this hand doing? What is this left hand? What does that mean? So in fact, this left hand is a deflect too. So if Susan punches, I can actually do a deflect like this. So what this hand is actually showing is this deflect. And I could maybe punch like that. So this movement is in fact a deflect to the side. The other thing that, since I have Susan, let's just talk about apparent closing up, which is the movement we're going to do next. So if Susan grabs me, actually, let's do it on either side. So let's say I've done parry, block, and punch. Susan grabs. How do I get rid of this hand? Come a little bit closer here. So what I would do is I'd essentially put my arm underneath here and strip. So essentially, I'm opening up her wrist here. Then if she keeps coming forward, I'm ready here, and then I just push out. So let's do it again from here. This is called passing palm, open, and push. And so in this case, so the technique that we learn here is called passing palm. And what passing palm does is it changes the energy point. It changes controls. You can see Susan is now controlling my wrist. I do passing palm, and now I control the wrist. So essentially, it's gone from her control to my control. Once I've released her hand, I can do multiple things. You might want to think for a second, where else in the form do you do passing palm? Any thoughts? Where else do you see this movement in the form? And in fact, we do it both sides. It's in Fair Lady Work Shuttles. So for example, Fair Lady, yeah, so let me just show Fair Lady Work Shuttles just so that folks remember. So for example, Fair Lady Work Shuttles 1 is this. And in this case, it's the same technique, but instead of pushing, I'm going to do a strike. So let me just show that with Susan. So here, if Susan grabs, I do passing palm, I lift it up, and I strike to her armpit here. So that's another way of following up on that strip. Okay, let's call that good. Thank you. Okay. Let us review apparent closing up. I think we've made some progress with parry, block, and punch. So apparent closing up, we are in a left bow stance. Right arm is striking out. And I will do it in this direction, this way. Okay, so we're here. Right arm straight but not locked. Arm straight out from the shoulder, left palm sitting here. The first thing is when Susan grabs me, I'm going to yield. And as I yield, you can see my chest turns and my palm rotates, my left arm rotates. So just try this movement. So open. Now my right arm is going to come to the left, and my left arm is going to go to the right. So it's going to go cross. Now with my body opening, I'm going to pull my right forearm over the center of my left forearm here. So this is going to pull open. Now that I'm here, I'm going to rotate both arms and sit my palms in front of my chest. So keep the arms more or less shoulder width apart, and then push out. Let's do that again together. So we are here, we've done the punch. So yield forward with body turning, rotate the left palm, open the right. Shuttle the left under the right and turn your chest open to the right, you're here. Now, check that your chest is sinking. So make sure that your right elbow isn't back here, your right elbow is here. So Rogelio, if you can bring your right elbow a bit forward, that would be good. Yeah, a little bit more sinking in the chest. Good, so we're here. Now, from here, rotate both arms Your palms stay in front of your chest. So your palms here are like chest, shoulder width apart. Make sure that your elbows are out. If your elbows are in, your armpit isn't open. So we want to keep the armpit open. Now we're going to push forward. Yeah. Let's do that again. I'm just going to turn to the side. This is a better side. That we can just talk about the weight shifts. So we've done parry, block, and punch here. 1, yield forward, rotate the chest, left arm palm up, right palm up as well. With your weight shifting back, separate the arms. Right arm comes backwards, left arm comes forwards. And you can see your left arm is in a ward-off shape here. Now rotate both arms, sit your palms in front of your chest. You'll actually square up your hips a little bit. Your hips are now between corner and straight. And then push straight forward, and you're finishing in push. Let's do that again. So yield forward with a waist rotation, passing palm, sit back, rotate both arms, sit palms in front of chest, and push out. Again, yield forward, chest to the left, shuttle the left arm under the right, open the arms, your chest goes to the right. Now as the palms sit in front of your chest starts coming to the left, and push out. And you end in a bow stance, the usual bow stance, torso, back leg in a line, palms sitting vertically, arms not locked, but more or less straight. Okay. Any questions about that? So let me watch you do that a couple of times on your own time, and then let's talk about it. Just a few things to mention. What I really like is, this is one of my favorite movements, and I'm seeing it in your movements too, which reminds me why I like it. It's got this wonderful forward and back movement, which you actually have in press and push as well. But it really is, you know, you're shifting your weight back, pushing with the back leg, and then coming forward. But the arms are doing something slightly different. For some of us, I want to, actually for all of us, what I'd like you to all to work on, since you all know the form, is to try and keep the same pace throughout. And so try to, so when we learn it, we do 1, 2, 3, 4. But when you do it, I want you to keep the same pace and not stop. So for example, one of the things that's really easy to do is to go, okay, so I'm going to do 1, and then I'm going to think for a moment, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to press. So try and keep it one continuous movement from beginning to end. The next one is, and this is, I think this is the last one we'll talk about, is when I say, we'll do it here. When I say deflect, open, don't, it's the movement here is in the waist. It's not the whole body turning, and it's not the torso tilting. So when you open, try to just rotate your torso. And there, if you think about, your opponent is hanging on to this arm is not going to go way to the side. This arm is more or less going to come forwards and back a little. It's going to come in a little bit as you do the passing palm, but don't exaggerate it too much, because then you'll find yourself going backwards and forwards. So bottom line, when we do this one, so deflect, right arm comes a bit to the left, left comes to the right. You can see here, my palm is really not much past my shoulder here. It's not way over here. Then the left arm comes up as the right arm pulls back. Then I'm going to sit and push. One more thing for one of us, or maybe two of us, is remember what I was showing with Susan. Susan grabs my wrist. I'm coming underneath here and I'm stripping. keep your right upper arm on top of your left arm. Don't let them separate, because the strip is not going to work if there's a lot of space here, because then there's nothing to actually trap her wrist and release it. So as you do the passing palm, you're going to pull the right arm over the middle of the left arm, but keep it close here. Yes, like that, Lorraine. Very nice. Yep, exactly right. So we are not going to get to apparent closing up. We'll do that next week. But let's just do this movement, these two movements, a couple of times. Before we do, are there any questions or comments? Good. I'm seeing a thumbs up. Thank you. Okay, let's just do those two together. So where are we? We're here. So we've done left brush knee. We've done the left brush knee sequence. We're going to do parry, block, and punch. So left brush knee, parry, block, and punch. Shift weight back, lift the left arm to 45 degrees with body turning, open the left foot, rotate the left arm. Now circle both arms down as the weight goes onto the left foot. Step through, center line to side, right foot to the right corner, arms to the back. Shift weight onto the right foot, second parry. This is the second part of your figure eight. Step through, root with the right foot. Now the little circle and punch. Check, shoulders down, left palm vertical, fist width from the right. Apparent closing up, yield forward, left palm goes to the left. Shuttle left under the right, pull the right arm back over the left forearm center, sitting your weight back. Now turning the chest, turn the hips slightly, and push forward. You're in push. Let's go into left brush knee again. I'll do it on this side. Left brush knee. Parry, block, and punch. Shift weight back, left arm up 45 degrees. Left toe turns open with body turning. Left arm rotates. Both arms circle down to the back, look to the back, step center line to the corner. Second parry, weight on the right foot. Step through, right hand to the hip crease, left hand blocks out. Shift weight forward into a bow stance. Punch. Check torso forward, head up. Apparent closing up, yield forward with body turning, left palm goes to the left. Now left goes to the right, right comes to the left. Strip, right arm over the left forearm center. With body turning, sit your palms in front of your chest, shoulder width apart, pushing out, you're in push. And stop. And there we are. I think we'll call that good. One of the things that is wonderful about the way Nancy Lauscher teaches is that I've learned you can do grass bird's tail your entire life and always find new things that you need to fix. And so this whole form is like that. I think, Maria, you were saying last week, you just want to get the first section down. It's the work of a lifetime. So keep at it. Keep practicing. Yeah. So let us close class, and then for those of you who want to stay behind, we'll do the whole form together. 同学们，再见。
Thank you.
Thank you.